Hello.
Hello.
More in a spooky way.
Oh yeah, it's actually pretty easy to go from one right
really
into
fun.
these.
It's been a while since the last Box Art Critique, and since it is the month of Hollow Talktoberween, why not look at some horror games? You have lots of opinions on them.
On
art you do.
on art I do. Yeah.
So do I.
The same standard rules apply, right?
It does.
If you are
Your eye gets led around.
and so on and so forth. But no, if your goal is to make a scary image, then you should be using certain tricks of the trade
Imagery. Yeah.
to instill uncertainty, fear, confusion, perhaps make a
Doubt.
Yep, let a sweat break out or two. So
So we have a bunch of different horror, can't just do Resident Evil. Can't just do Silent Hill.
No, those
There's
aren't about
lots-
scariness.
Yeah. There's lots of bullshit out there. So what is our first one of the day?
Let's take a look. Whoa. Starting off strong, I see.
Starting out strong.
So you want to
with-
come out guns blazing, you do.
You do. Whenever you're playing 4 Resident Evil, you kind of think of automatically just Leon kind of in a weird position on the GameCube
You do.
box art.
You
but
do.
then you're like, oh, PAL destroyed us.
I mean,
Here.
when it comes to 4 Resident Evil, you have to think that they were hot on the success of 3, A New Generation.
So at the bottom there, you can see we have Dr. Salvador.
Not
He's just, hey. it's
no
me.
main characters,
No.
no nothing, all tone.
All tone.
100% tone.
Evil Resi 4.
Man with but let's say you don't know who the doctor is.
Yeah.
Man with a weird shaped head or mask holding what is clearly a chainsaw
Vacuum cleaner, but sure.
with or a leaf blower.
Leaf blower. That's the one.
It is perfect.
You can we're joking before, but it leads your eye down, like the logo is right in the center, and then you just see him, and then you're like, yeah, and then you see the cavalcade, the army of logos that kind of ruin everything
At the bottom, but you have to.
You have to, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if 2 discs is required to be on the front. That's usually always, to me, it was always on the back of boxes.
I feel like it was too. But one way or the other, this definitely doesn't upset Paul Marketing too much because they understand the name Resident Evil
is kind of strong.
is a bit of a big deal, so we can fucking let it rock.
Also, like how Capcom was like, if we put blue on our logo and yellow as normal, it'll fucking ruin it.
It will.
So just make it white and red.
Yeah.
Smart decision, actually.
While the Nintendo logo perfectly blends in.
Yeah, the last smart decision Capcom apparently ever made.
Why did we get this? Oh, we did.
We did. Here's the House of Splatters, the 3-anine.
I don't like it.
Look, it's done by Julie. Look at the box.
It is.
Julie
It
92,
is.
Who did the fucking box art for
Oh.
Eternal Champions? And
That's
tons of
why.
fun
Yeah,
stuff.
Julie 92.
Yeah, I love her.
That's why that's the same body type. That's the same airbrushing.
As Leon.
It's true. What does Splatter? What's his name?
Rick.
Rick.
Yeah.
Why does Rick from Splatterhouse have a head that is also his hair, that is also his neck?
Actually, in the third one, the sprite kind of looks like that.
Really?
It's turning into his neck, whereas the first 2, it's like a straight up, hockey mask. But, lawyers at any time can burn. There's a lawyer right there bursting through that threshold. And he's like, what? I love that he's grappling onto the side of the Genesis art. The spine of it.
True.
That gross Monstar.
Julie knew how to work the format.
She really did.
I mean,
Wooly.
yeah.
His shredded jeans.
These jeans are now fashionable items that the kids are wearing today.
Today, I saw someone wearing them today, and I was like, whoa, Splatterhouse 3.
Rick started it all. Okay. This, I mean, besides
It's
the
amazing.
besides the fact that this fucking game is great,
Yeah.
this is one hell of an awesome piece. Because here's the thing. This is successfully terrifying.
Because Scissor Man is like, choppa choppa.
But guess what?
What?
It's broad daylight.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to
cloudy.
rely on.
It's cloudy, to be fair.
It doesn't
but
have
it
to,
is daylight.
but it doesn't have to rely on shadows and dark and whatnot for the mood and
very in your
atmosphere.
face.
Yeah, they pulled it off with a very kind of bland and gray background.
Yeah,
but it's fine.
The water is gray
'Cause
I
it-
guess it's reflecting the sky.
It doesn't matter because a fucking scissor is in your face and you feel uncomfortable.
And also, that's not Scissor Man. That's not even close to what he
Yeah,
looks like
that's
in the
not-
game.
that's not the
He's like a
point.
small person, and he's like a butler, and he's dressed like the Blue Boy, like the old
Let
painting.
the artist work.
Yeah, gray on gray on gray on gray.
I think this is totally successful,
Is there
despite
such a-
its flaws.
Is there such a thing as too many folds in your jacket?
I mean,
Because I think there is.
it makes it flat. It flattens out the jacket based on.
It does.
Yeah. When it's almost like too many muscles, making you look like not a person.
And also, I don't know about those rocks on the left. That doesn't seem like
Too many folds on the
I
rocks.
don't think there was a proper reference used for the buffs.
The rocks share the same texture as the jacket.
Well, because that's smart asset reuse by the artist. He's like, well, what I learned on the folds of the jacket, I can apply to other places. I'm going to say that the folds also repeat themselves on the clouds.
The font is a little bit of a clash going on between the words clock and tower.
White Clock is way more gothic than Tower.
Clock-
Tower's like, man, I'm just holding it down up here. Look at Clock going through that
Yeah,
phase.
and clock looks like it's clearly like 3D rendered with like,
what's
the little
with the
hook.
C on the clock? Like it's unsheathed,
Oh, it's because it's like a hook, like a blade.
I guess, but that's not scissors.
No, but it's
Wait, maybe it is.
they're
trying
like
to be
they're like a
scissors.
kind of shears.
I guess.
with like a hook size.
Garden shears. Wait, look at his fucking hand. What is his fucking right hand? His left hand, rather.
I mean, it's kind of yeah.
Yeah.
Sure,
This is real.
that's not real.
This is 100% real.
You're lying.
Take out your phone and waste everyone's time.
Why are you wasting my time with your bullshit?
This is the PAL box art. The North American box art is different, but this is real. Fuck you.
I like because I don't. This is
Why would I include this if I didn't confirm, reconfirm, and confirm again?
Fucking Christ!
Oh, what happened? What happened on the phone?
What were they thinking? Is there a scene?
The game's not like this. Is someone playing the game?
but
Some
this is
woman.
But this is a piece of stock art from fucking
Dark stock art on Twitter.
Yeah,
Follow.
this is from Shutterstock.
I think what they're actually going for. It's like, oh, it's Wii. So there's people moving about and they're playing a game and they're getting scared. So have some woman who's hiding behind the couch.
So in the complete opposite move of PAL box arts that are usually more artistic and American ones that are more literal and dumb, here we have the complete opposite where
Rising Star spared no expense in getting one of their junior executives.
oh, dude, I don't even think so. I think this is just a piece of stock art. So yeah, it's a warning that you might run to the lorry if you play this game.
barely constitutes as art, but I had to put it in here because I knew you said it wouldn't be real.
This is so fake. I can't believe
It's
it.
super real. Always felt this was really, really strong because there's a lot going on with this imagery that
Yeah.
tells you exactly what's happening in the game.
You know, so obviously you've got to have your PlayStation branding because you
do.
can't avoid that, and you got to have your Peggy 18. Peggy 18.
Yeah, I always say it like that too.
But if you didn't have that, you would just be looking at what is essentially this.
Yeah.
And that's fucking awesome.
It is.
You
For
know,
those that don't remember, it was like we have to survive until dawn. So it's obviously an hourglass.
Yep.
With the snow, not sand,
Yep.
because whatever. And you can see all our protagones, all our teens, just going, "Well, we're gonna go to the cabin."
yeah, there's nothing to represent the bullshit though.
One thing I'll say is that the rest of the negative space is just kind of nothing. I'm
I
not
disagree.
sure-
I was about to compliment it
What?
because it's
don't-
bold.
Well, it's not. I mean,
You
I
know
don't-
that this piece, it's like Braid. You know that the skull and the hourglass and the house is so strong, and you know that this tells you everything you need, and it's relegated to one side because they had the space for it. They can give a nice logo the space it needs to breathe on this side, and you don't have to fill bullshit up or above or below.
I'm not saying put tons of imagery or anything. I'm
You know-
saying like maybe the moon, maybe just some clouds.
I don't think it
just
needs
fade it
anything.
off.
No, I think it's great. Next, we've got this.
This is also 100% real.
Is this the Jogo?
No, it's not the Jogo.
Okay.
This is just regular old Amnesia, and it's since got updated to have like a much more provocative, like kind of imagery of like the logo in a well or something like that. This is usually in the top 10s of worst box arts ever.
This photo gets uploaded to me IRL, but also to YouTube thumbnails.
It does.
Just saying.
The monster doesn't exactly look like that.
I was
It looks
gonna
like
ask-
some type of Howard the Duck monster.
I was gonna ask you if the monster had a beak, because that looks.
I'd also
dumb.
noticed there's another jaw just to over his shoulder. What's going on?
I mean,
There's another creature, I believe.
amnesia.
So, do you think there's enough effects?
No,
and
what?
filters?
Listen, guys. Here's the problem. Okay, here's
This looks like this is from the viewpoint of someone speeding towards these characters.
it's this. The problem with this art is that they did not
Everything.
go to the render fog option in difference clouds. They didn't get enough
Right.
of those in there. They definitely should have gone over to your filters, and what you want to hit is your motion blur.
Yes.
You want to increase the motion blur. You want to get a zoom blur as well going. Your radials are definitely
I think what the guy
there's
did
just
is
not
that
enough blur.
He held down shift and clicked every blur.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
put it all to max.
Yep. And I just color wise, you're just
Hey,
fucking.
look, Johnson already spent over an hour on this box, man. Look, what is that?
Well, you know what's a compelling color that really scares people?
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
Jesus fucking Christ, you guys. Oh, fuck off.
So this got played on the shit server like the other year. And this, like The Grudge, when I think of The Ring or
Okay.
Ringu,
All
I
right.
sure think of this.
Okay, so look,
Speaking of creepy font,
I don't
Terror's Realm, dude.
I don't mean to I don't want to throw bad artists under the bus
Yeah,
because
not you.
I went to because in real life because I'm like what am I trying to say here? This is the work of the people that were in my program in college
Okay.
that didn't make it past the first year.
Right, so like me.
People made the cut and then entered, and then they handed this in for one of their first
And
assignments.
Carmelo just
Looked at
failed
it
them.
and went, "Oh no, son!
No,
no,
Your mom will be here to pick you up.
And you find out the hard way. This is not for you, child.
So, I think whoever designed this literally was like, The Ring, sure, I'll draw a piece of jewelry, and that's that gold ring that you see right in the middle, not knowing what the ring actually means in the context of the movie. And this game barely has anything to do with the movie, the part I played of it, at least.
So you say that, but I disagree because I don't see anything drawinged over on this piece at all. This looks 100% composited from existing photos of random things.
Possibly. I believe the woman's face is from the game, though, because it does look similar to the female character.
But this
play
looks
as.
like we grabbed some footage of. We took a screenshot, and then we did. This is what 2000 or 99 since it's
Yeah.
Dreamcast. All right, so we didn't do a Google search. We did an Alta Vista search, maybe Dogpile,
Why is the T of the not capitalized?
because
I
it's-
want to punch someone.
It is stylized. You see, it's not the ring; it's the ring.
But it's also Terror's Realm.
This rules.
Everyone knows it.
This is the fucking best.
This fooled the angry game nerd into playing this. This fooled me into playing and renting this game.
This is so cool.
Wooly, how are you going to battle the demons? With what?
With the Psycho Wave. But it's
Look, he's shooting the psycho wave out of his eye.
it's there. I seen it. And then for Max Funk, they went with this cool background. They took it right off of like the Kylie Minogue workout tights.
Yeah.
Right, they cut a patch of her tights out and they put it back there, and then not across the whole back, just enough to create the square where they then cut off the hat for stylish purposes.
Well, because they can't bleed up until Bandai and Nintendo.
No, so this stands
cut it.
alone and it looks great. It'd be. I'm all about
you
it.
You don't actually want to play this game though. It's
I want to stare
one,
at this
but-
box though. Yeah. This is. I
Just
thought
zoom in right in the center there.
no because
Zoom in on the face.
I
There's Chris.
hold on.
He looks like he's straight from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Wait, please wait, because
Huh?
I remember one of the first things I liked, not knowing anything about Ari, was the picture of the zombie face turning around with the blood on its mouth.
Yeah, that's director's cut.
What? Okay. What about the one with the raven? With the
That's already 2. Or something. But this is the original.
this is the original box.
This is the original. This is what was deemed good. He's being attacked by multiple shadows of something.
Can we take a moment to acknowledge
The veiny explosions.
what the fuck is happening
It's
here?
Chris. That's just all Chris.
But was he always that? I thought
always roided out.
Jesus fuck! So it is canon then.
Got to juice up.
From day one, he was doing Arnie biceps.
I really feel this is another case of someone going, "What? It's a horror game. You're a guy with a gun. Okay, and that's it."
And then they got some dude to do
What gun is that?
like they have some like one of their friends make his wacky face that makes them all laugh ever since high
yeah,
school.
it's like a Max Payne face.
It is a very but
always grimacing.
Yeah, and they're like, but you got to show that you're kind of losing your mind. You're going postal a little bit.
Because you're stuck in the Resident Evil, and they're like, "What is it?" I'm like, "I don't know." Also, Chris is rendered so weirdly. It makes me think of like a Marvel Masterpiece or a Fleer Ultra series where they had different artists, render each character, and you get the pack as a kid, and you get to that one or two heroes that was drawn by that guy,
Yeah.
and you just quickly go to the next
Just
card
pretend-
in your deck.
Pretend it wasn't part of the
you're almost
series.
scared of the card, like, no, I don't want to look at that one.
They approved it.
Yeah, no, they did, but it's a classic in some ways, but in other ways, it's a horrible abomination that begs for apocalypse.
Okay. All right. Look.
Have you seen this guy before?
Okay. No.
This guy's pretty famous.
But I feel like this is the problem with having too much confidence in your CG.
In your image.
Like you're like, man, our faces look so good.
Oh God! Just slap one of them faces on that box. son.
Everyone's gonna be super impressed by
Everyone's
it.
gonna. This doesn't the name the mystery of the druids. This guy doesn't seem like he's very like he seems pretty bold
What's-
and rageful.
I like
What?
Because they gave him pores.
And a big potato nose.
They did, and they really felt like they were going for it.
What's going on with his bottom lip? It's just kind of disappearing into
He
his
doesn't
mouth.
appear to have one.
He has no bottom row of teeth. Oh, I thought you were gonna put the little like anime blushes on his cheeks.
I mean, we weren't in that kawaii area. You
yeah,
know,
there you
like,
go.
Like, I guess we could make him choji.
Give him the little feline girl tooth.
Oh, the like single
The
bite.
sharp tooth.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
loves it.
actually an improvement.
He loves it.
So there's some type of mystery behind this druid, I guess. There's some vague stones, Stonehenge. I'm not really sure what's going on in the background.
Maybe he was getting a little shy. Oh no.
Please, please, druid kun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, don't go too close into the void there.
What is the House of Tales?
Yeah.
Real nice. Real clear logo here.
Go up to that big dumb sticker.
It looks like a face, Is that correct?
I don't know, dude.
Like, I'm seeing like a
have to
nose.
you'll have to ask the artisans at House of Tales.
Right? And I'm seeing what appears to be like maybe he's reading a book.
Oh, yeah, okay, now I see it.
And-
or he's holding a sword. Because
it's-
he's planning to plunge himself on it.
I mean...
What's that big dumb sticker in the top right? We need... like, where was this bought and sold?
New Era Entertainment, Inc.
In Henderson Industrial Park, Singapore.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, Dementium too.
Yeah.
The first game had an okay box art, but I remember when I first saw this and I was like, holy shit.
Wasn't not a Renegade Kid? Not a
Renegade Kid, yeah.
I see South Peak.
South Peak is the publisher. I had to ask a friend of a friend to be like, oh, you're in a GameStop? Can you get me Dementium 2 while you're there?
Yes.
And they went, oh, okay, what is... They didn't know that much about games. And I was like, it's this box art. And they're like, okay, I'm not going to forget that.
Yeah.
I'm going to find that.
That's...
And, you know, horror games on the DS, not very common, but this you'll never forget this image.
This is excellent. Like, this is exactly what a horror game should be.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, man? Your font is cool, too.
It's not even bad.
You're doing it.
I am fine with a big hand coming out of my throat, but the amount of hair on this guy's arm, that's the part I'd feel uncomfortable
Yeah,
with.
it's not just
like,
any hand, and it's not just your hand. It's a hairy hand. It's a hand that knows the toils of a 9 to 5. You know,
What hands with blisters that
Yep,
work.
hands that work with tools.
And again, unsettling textures in big display here. Just weird bed stains of an unknown origin.
Bed stains. That's a good one. That's
yeah.
a good one. And the thought that, you know, you might get yanked into your own mouth.
Is troubling.
So don't
to
scream
say the
too
least.
loud.
I think this is also going on the thing of like when the Grudge movies were coming out, it had a lot of imagery. A lot of Japanese horror movies or Asian horror movies would have hands coming out of the back of your head or in your hair.
Oh, yeah?
And jumping out. So I think it's trying to like, oh, that's a strong image. Why don't we go with that? There's a PC version, an HD PC version of this game, played in a shitstorm years ago, that's much less effective than this. But this one always pretty strong to me. Always sticks out in my head when I think of horror game box art.
Yeah, no, this is...
Dude, don't!
It's not even about that,
Okay.
but it's like, I don't know what type of mess makes this sort of stain, but that stain
That
is like
stain.
something bad happened there.
Yeah.
Some big whoops, some big accidents went down,
Big accident.
and they didn't clean it because they didn't have time.
They did not. I remember
All right.
seeing ads for this.
This
in
this
old
is out of
comics
this doesn't
all
even
the time.
belong here. Like, this is out of place.
Really? Blood and monsters everywhere? A guy holding a bloody knife?
Because this isn't even trying to scare you. This is just
Dude,
trying
that's
to.
super scary.
This is just trying to be a cool Ness adventure.
Okay, so that
What's up
little
with
gremlin-
Krang's syringe?
That's disgusting and scary. Look at the graboid coming in from the left. There's a lot of horrifying imagery here.
And then we've got
A little gremlin with an umbilical cord?
yeah,
coming
like
out of his
the
thumb?
cat's little creep cat's guts coming out, and then rat in a
in a bucket,
cup.
in a little boat.
You're right, like that's scary. You don't know what his intentions are. You don't know what his designs are for
I know
you.
what the intentions are of a skeleton with Cthulhu wings, and it has lungs inside of its rib cage.
Okay, but wait a minute though.
Look at that cool guy.
But what is this?
Bone. Oh, I know. It's the thing you crush. You crush ingredients in the bowl.
A mortar pestle?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what the rat must be.
So the
sitting there.
rat's for crushing to be an ingredient.
Yes, because of witchcraft and so on and so forth.
Ah, you're right. But is this vial of spilled blood also like
and it's on
his blood?
hand? Wait, look,
He cut-
stabbing.
He's cut himself.
No, look, the gremlin stabs his foot. with his
Oh,
with his tiny weapon.
so there's blood coming off the knife, but also from his hands, and also from the gremlin stabbing his foot, and it's also from the vial. So there's blood from all sources.
it's all
really.
mixing together.
All kinds of blood.
Also, I just noticed he came out of a door in the ground.
Yes.
He's just coming out of a cellar.
That's true too.
And then he's like, oh shit, I came into the one where there's a mummy and Krang.
But to be fair, with the exception of this Mega Man Skull boss back here,
Yeah.
and this
There's a little
incredible
mansion there,
little
too.
mansion behind him, and a spooky logo. Big,
Dr. Chaos.
big. Don't get scared. But big spooks. Look at that, big spooks.
Look at that vague Halloween shape. Look at the Halloween clip art number 2.
He's being attacked by what is essentially ads from a boss fight that you can kill in one hit.
Yeah, baby.
Lots of annoying, again, little boat rats. The guy, you could just kick this fucker. You could just kick him, and he's dead, and he gives you coins.
The Graboid, I feel the art is actually from a larger scale creature, but now they shrunk it down. And he looks like he's not that intimidating.
Yeah, that's
he's
how I
just-
used to draw snakes and dragons back in the day. Is I draw that open mouth the exact same way because it's easy.
I just noticed that the mummy has claws coming out of the ends of his mummy fingers.
Indeedy do.
And what the fuck is the perspective on that?
Oh.
The mummy's super behind him.
Oh,
He's
don't
way
even.
down, but his hand is
Dude,
overlapping
there's
the guy's
Look,
shoulder.
they're allowed to get away with it. There's
Oh, 'cause
doors
it's
floating in the
impossible
multiverse.
It's impossible space.
Yeah. You can't. This is Escher shit. You don't have to figure it out.
I
And
feel
it's-
really bad he's getting his foot stabbed.
And not to mention the wings of the skull boss. Why does Skullman have guts?
I don't know.
That's
But it's creepy.
Though the only thing scarier than a skeleton is a skeleton that still has some of its organs.
There's that picture going around. It's like all y'all fucking getting tired with that stupid skeleton shit.
Yeah.
Skeletons aren't scary.
The meat.
Think about meat.
The meat.
oozing meat.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
meat.
Yeah.
It's pretty gross.
And last but not least, of course, you've got the fact that, Breaking Bad taught us that you only use one of these types of beakers when you want to oxidize the blood and
Right,
get the temperature
Well,
up
yeah.
there. So they're clearly up to some more than just basic bitch level witchcraft. These guys know what they're doing.
What's shocking me that I saw ads for this very piece of art in comic books unaltered with all this blood and violence. Like, how did this not? This image alone should have been censored for an NES game.
Because
Crazy.
it's violence, but it's little annoying violence. It's not. No one's getting killed or obliterated. It's just little scrapes and cuts.
Look how much blood there is.
But it's just
though.
you little poke. Ow! Just lots of little owies, and you cut me
There's
with
a
the
syringe lodged in
ow!
someone's
Just
brain.
it's ow. He likes it. It's just little owies.
It does look like he came with the syringe.
And this rat's about to be like, ow! Yeah, it's just little ows. Ouch!
It's
Ouch!
a bunch of little owls.
Ouchie! Ouch! Nothing really, really outright horrible. For thrill.
Dude, I fucking hate this. What type of stupid asshole goes, okay, so stay with me. We're going to put 2 guys, but because we want to be gunmen's, but the whole series is about this little girl. So fuck it. Just put her eyes on it. I don't care.
Now,
Also call it free rear.
for a second, I thought it was clever because I thought this
It was
eye
the space between
was the
their-
space between his arm.
No, not even close.
And I looked at the other one, and then I looked back at the first one, and it's 100% just slapped on top of it like some dumb bullshit.
There's other Fear box art where it's just Alma there, the girl, just standing there looking creepy, and that's it. And it's super effective. So this has the double whammy of such a stupid design choice that someone thought, like, oh, look how cool this is. Coupled with the second strike of freer at the top, like, it makes it, like, one of the worst to me.
So they managed to get they stay on message by showing you that you have Gunman with his body armor on.
Yeah.
So there is military action, and you have
That's good. I like military action.
and-
What else you got?
and you've got like magic spooks going on this
Man
side
with blurry hands.
and Headshot, and he's still alive. So Dormammu head, big burning magic head,
Look at this aura.
might be a Metal Gear boss. Who knows?
Who knows? He's not.
What I will say is that they're very nicely rendered.
Yeah,
Like the
actual
artist did a
art
good
on
job.
display is
You know what I
fine.
mean? Like this is not a badly done piece of art, but it's just badly composed because it's fucking stupid.
This is Fatal Frame 4 or Project Zero. 4.
Okay. Japanese logo
How fucking sick that
is
logo
really
is.
nice. Yeah. Too bad we can't understand shit.
No,
But
it means the mask of the lunar eclipse.
very stylized. I like it vertical.
Yeah, no, I like it vertical too
That's
because it
very
doesn't happen
different.
that often.
Yeah. Big scary house. No, this is good. This is very good.
Everything's
This is really cool.
nice and centered. Nice colors. Like it's actually like again a nice piece of art.
Yeah, no, shout outs to this grass. Right? And I can't like is this in fact a render? It is. That's 3D.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that's 3D but it looks like a render that was touched up, you know?
Yeah. A lot of the Fatal Frame games under Nintendo, like this one, Fatal Frame 5, and even the Fatal Frame 2 remake that came on the Wii, all have really, really strong box arts, whereas a lot of the American box art for Fatal Frames in the past were like hit and miss. Some of them were like, okay, and then others were like, eh. But this is like personally my favorite one.
That's really it's unfortunately lacking in
Freak point bonus.
Yeah, or Zero Shot Erotica.
But it is mood setting. I'll give it that.
I think the logo is actually the strongest
The
part,
logo is
just 'cause it's so nice.
The logo it could be out any backdrop, like
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
like you could
yeah.
put that on anything.
I wonder, can you put it on the Ju-on Flight Simulator? Could that look any better, I wonder?
I mean, like like if you could I could almost see like that mask just being Majora's mask.
Yeah.
Doesn't look not a camera to be seen anywhere inside of this though.
Yeah, good.
All right, well,
So
the fuck is this?
This is a Japanese Super Famicom game called like Mayo, Land of the Demon King, something along those lines. And I just put it in here because I'm like, holy shit!
This is
look at
doing
this
it.
Berserk.
This is absolutely doing it. And if
I just noticed there's a giant pentagram over the city.
with modern day, this could easily be a Shin Megami Tensei. This could easily be
That looks like a member of God Hand
yeah, no, Berserk
chewing
for
up Casca.
Berserk for the modern day.
Yeah.
And there's some. Not only is there a pentagram with, I guess, the shape of a city or something in there,
Yeah, something.
but around the edges are some evil ass Sanskrit type
yeah, I see
demon
it.
fonts.
Almost missed it.
And it's already scary before we even get down into the action.
Yeah.
So here we've got Satan and a damsel in his clutches, unable to tell if she's about to be rescued, like if she's even
Maybe he's
rescuable.
rescuing her.
I think he might be saving her. Yeah. So like she's done.
Looks like it.
He's wearing badass armor and he's got his wings coming out.
And then we see the crew.
Then we see the boys, including topless scary demon that doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, big eyeball boy. 2 Ents.
Uh,
And this is the hero?
and then we get down to the color contrast on our badass dude, who clearly is a man, but also a beast, strong enough to fight these fuckers.
He's doing a JoJo pose.
And he's henching up. He's about to henshin. It's not
Okay.
necessarily a JoJo.
He's like pointing to the left. He's like, check that shit out.
And then a big ass, bold, strong, fucking font, choice. Yeah,
really stands out. So you wanna
Yeah, I don't know.
what this game actually is?
no clue, but it's awesome.
It is a side scroller where you play as a guy in a white t-shirt and jeans and you shoot a gun.
Oh god, damn it all!
I
to
know,
hell.
right?
Why-
You are fighting monsters and demons,
That
but
sucks.
and it does hint at that at least with the modern
That's
day
trash.
buildings. But as a vertical piece of art, because as we've seen before in previous box art critiques, Super Famicom box art is always very vertical like this. It's still a striking piece.
Yeah, okay. So
So someone's ass has
here-
now exploded.
I might have said this before, but like if not, then it's a new to you confession.
Yeah.
That the first time I heard about Pokemon,
Oh boy.
Yeah. I thought it was just a rebranded Monster in My Pocket. Because
That's amazing.
because I remember Monster in My Pocket and I knew about it for a long time. And then suddenly someone came along and said, "Yeah, there's a thing called Pocket Monsters." And I was like, "Oh, like Monster in My Pocket." Yeah, they just
And they were like, yeah, absolutely like that.
So I'm like, "Oh, cool, they brought it back."
Nice.
What? And it was like a Nintendo game, and it was, well, Konami, but I just knew it as a Nintendo
checked
game.
all the boxes.
So what reason would I have to not believe that a new game called Pocket Monsters wasn't just a simple reboot of Monster in My Pocket?
So someone told an artist, we have a game called Monster in My Pocket. He went, got it.
Nailed it.
And he just drew a pocket, drew some Monstars.
This took him 8 minutes.
It's actually super, super sick looking.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, the name informs the art informs the name.
Who's your favorite monster?
I'm a big fan of the Wolfman.
I also like the Wolfman.
I like the t-shirt he's wearing because it shows you that he's a lycanthrope.
I love there's additional monsters that are just ready to bust out. You see the silhouettes of their eyes and such.
But I do want to I don't want to ignore the awesomeness that is this orcish brow.
Yeah, look at Sapo over there.
Disappearing into his shoulders.
That's a brow. That's a brow you can hang on your wall.
Fucking disappearing into his goddamn shoulders is his face, which means he can't even look up if he wanted to. But don't sleep on eyes in the dark over here.
They're very scary.
Or
look at that horror. That's Baraka.
Or Skrull, Super Skrull,
yeah.
/ Thanos hanging out over there.
That guy's actually horrible.
He's pretty rough.
A little Wendigo. Hey, did you know that we'll get the free Konami monster?
I mean, there were the
Is
little
it
plastic
Pachinko?
toys. They were these shitty little plastic toys.
Yeah.
But
You know what's weird though? This does, on Matt and Wooly Get Everything Wrong, we talk about lies.
Yep.
This super lies because I don't even think you get monsters even close to this. In Monster in My Pocket for the NES, you get a little Dracula, like a little Bela Lugosi, little Dracula guy, a little mummy, and a little Frankenstein. And I think that's about it. This just went whole hog on it. Just like, nah, skeletons and demons and fucking all this stuff.
I'm really shocked that this creature didn't take off, whereas Pikachu did.
Yeah, I'm shocked that kids didn't take a liking to this.
I really, I would have put money on that. All right, this is a cool cover for a.
It is. I wish we got it
for a not good game, I believe.
Yes, it's not a great
this
game.
Bad game.
I think I know. So the North American box art for Silent Hill Downpour is just like Murphy with being shot from the face down, or like the mouth down, and he's just holding an axe, and it says Silent Hill Downpour, and that's it. This is the Japanese version, and it's so much cooler. That's probably one of the better modern Silent Hill box arts I can even remember. I think the logo stands out a little too much. Like, it's
so the
hues of blue.
Exactly. So the what's stupid and shitty about this box is the fog on Silent Hill being super pasted on top of this other piece of art.
Yeah.
And then they're like, how do we get it to blend? And then the guy's like, just take the eraser brush and put the opacity down.
Just erase all the top of those buildings. Like, just use the font.
No. Look, they they just did the classic old, like, grow that eraser to like size 200.
Yeah.
And then let's just wipe it over here wipe it over there.
Now we're almost done.
And now it fits. There it is. Bam. And it's like, no, man.
Great.
It's a completely different kind of blue.
Yeah.
It just, no. Bad. Very bad. In fact, terrible.
And it sucks because the rest of the art is so strong and scary.
Yeah. Now, if they did, like, take just this text, right?
Yeah.
Take, like, the typography here, take Downpour here, and then let's just say take the shape of the houses and buildings and whatnot to get that as, like, a shape that was attached to this, and then use, When you go to your blending options, you do fucking luminosity.
Right.
Right? And you get rid of all this blue so that it stays within the realm of this gray
You
and
just
black.
turn down the saturation of
It's
it,
too because what are you doing with this extra color here?
I don't know.
It looks garbage.
It's they're like, well, we want it to stand out. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
but it's standing out way too much.
Also, Piggy Nose is funny here.
Yeah.
Does anyone scream like that in the game?
Yeah, I did
Okay. Oh, well.
because it was so painful.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good though. It's good. Good piece, but fucking way to drop the ball.
I wouldn't
on
say it
your-
ruins it, but it doesn't do it any.
But is that
favors.
just like is that the logo from the other box art, just like kind
Yeah.
of slapped here?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's why. That's why. Yeah. All right.
the PC version
All
of
right.
Omicron had this box art?
No Bowie.
No Bowie.
Wow. Who the fuck is that?
That's a guy.
Who?
That's a guy we fought.
When did
I
you
don't
fight him?
fucking know, but we fucking fought that guy. I remember
don't
that
even.
face.
So this is Kale's eye. Kale?
I don't.
This is the eye symbol that you see the little thing on his eye.
Yeah, yeah. I see
That's
this
the
little
that's
eye
like what they
tattoo.
had. Those stupid eye tattoos. So there's that. I don't know why it's shiny,
Neither do I.
but there it is. I mean this is a cool render.
Sure is.
Doesn't tell you much though.
It doesn't tell me what the game actually turned out to be.
I mean,
There's huge lies.
yeah, like it's
This makes it seem way more horror-y as well.
It does, but it's like, at least in the vague horror things we looked at before, you kind of saw someone screaming or getting ripped into their own mouth.
Yeah, as usually.
This isn't really telling me anything. It's like technically done well, but and yeah, you got a
So,
good filter on it.
At first, when we looked at this, you go like, "Hey, that's kind of," and then you're like, "Wait, no, there's a face on top of a logo, on top of an eyeball." And then Omicron is not even on the fucking thing.
No, it's not.
And just like, wait, what? Oh, wait, this is way worse than I thought initially.
And you know, now that I'm removed from it, I could probably appreciate that font if I wasn't retching in my guts right now.
I decided to put the most horrible game, the most horror-based game ever, right at the end there for you.
But yeah, this will trick you. This will get you.
I'm sure it tricked many a person.
For a
Not
half
that
second,
many.
you're like, "Hey," and then you're like, "Wait,
wait, what? No.
stop." And then
Someone stop.
please.
Why is that shiny on top of that guy's head as
I
well?
don't know. It's supposed to be the eyes lens flare
But it's,
reflecting,
even if his face wasn't there, it's in the wrong place on the eyeball.
and there's 3 of them.
yeah. There's 2 on the top and there's 1 off.
And the Nomad Soul doesn't stand out enough because it's yellow on yellowish red anyway.
It stands out a little
it's
bit.
basically orange.
but it could stand out way more.
No.
Well, it's very easy to nitpick this now.
This is garbage. What a trash box.